Good afternoon, and welcome to a new episode of Film Illiterates. I'm Joe.
And I'm Alex.
Today we're going to be talking about the classic Wes Anderson film, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'm kidding. We're talking about this piece of
We hobbits are plain quiet folk. Adventures make one late for dinner.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
The Hobbit is the story of a hobbit who goes on an adventure and nothing else. So Alex, last week we talked about the classic 1977 film, Sorcerer, directed by William Friedkin, of course. This week we're going to be talking about another...
What?
Sorcerer, the trucks, the nitroglycerin, Roy Scheider, all that.
Yeah, I don't remember. What happened? I don't remember last week.
What
happened?
I don't know. You just gone. You're missing. I don't know where you went. It's Kalima, give me the power, I beg of you. Give me the power, I beg of you, Kalima. Yeah. You're here. You're here now, though. That's all that matters. Talking about Hobbit.
Okay.
The new Hobbit movie's coming out. Yeah, I remember that.
Hobbit,
the new Hobbit movie coming out. So,
yeah,
glad to have you back, Alex.
Yeah, good to be back.
All right, let's move on. All right, so this week, by the time this episode is released, the new Hobbit movie will have just come out. Everyone's gonna be talking about it, and we thought we'd talk about the original Hobbit movie, the animated Rankin Bass film. But from what you remember about the book, how does this work as a adaptation of the original The Hobbit book? Because they really do they cut a lot out of this film. It's made for TV originally.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that. Like there are a lot of parts where the screen will just fade out.
Love in spoonfuls, tender little chunks that cats really love.
Yeah, they did cut some stuff. There were some things that I would have liked to see, but as a whole, I think what they cut out it's okay. I would have loved to see a little bit more of the Battle of the Five Armies. That they kind of glossed over.
The violence in this movie was kind of odd.
It was like, oh, I'm gonna swipe at you with my sword, and then we go into a kaleidoscope of some sort.
I love the spiders in this movie, though. The giant spiders.
Those are weird. Nah, I don't like
They're
spiders.
hilarious.
They're all talking like this. Oh, Bilbo, I'm gonna come eat you now. We will eat you and leave your skin hanging in the tree.
They only have two eyes.
It's a fantasy. It's a kids' movie. It's a fantasy. Gotta cut them some slack.
Yeah, I guess they have
Look at that cover. Look at that big old beard and little hobbit. And
yeah, I guess if they have
all that stuff. Look at Gandalf.
Dragons.
He's got
Dragons. Oh, I mean, Gandalf was terrible.
Now, I'm already late because of bothering with you people.
Do you find the terms acceptable?
Of course he does. Keep a strict log of the remainder of your journey, so I may study it when we meet again and point out your missteps.
Gandalf's a real in this movie.
He really is. I like the music. I like that they included the songs directly from the book. I thought that was great too.
Shift the glasses, crack the plates. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. Oh, where are you going with beards all a-wagging? 15 birds in 5 fir trees. Their feathers were fanned in a fiery breeze.
It's for kids. It's a kids movie,
and especially if you read the book before, you can recognize them really quickly. You can be like, oh yeah, I remember reading reading that song in the book, and then now you get to hear it in the movie.
Exactly.
I'm honestly not a huge fan of like 70s and 80s animation styles. Some of them are okay, some of them look fine, but I don't really like the look of it all, to be honest with you.
It's very organic, kind of. I mean, everything kind of has lumps in it. Everyone's face, if they're old, like any of the dwarves or Gandalf, they have like wrinkles and bumps all over their faces and stuff. Mm-hmm. The monsters are bigger, more rounded out. The goblins are kind of fat little. What the? Oh, okay.
What was that?
It was just a CD fell off the. Which is interesting considering that the company that did this, Rankin Bass, I don't know if it's the name of the guys, the company, I haven't researched them a whole lot, but the thing they're probably most well known for is their Christmas specials.
Oh, is this your snowbank?
Happy birthday!
All those were done by the same company that made this movie, which is really interesting. So I really want to look into the history of this movie and find out why did they do The Hobbit? Where did this come from?
Yeah, and why they did it in a different animation style.
It's also interesting because this film, it's not only a standalone Hobbit movie, but they had sequels made to it. Sort of sequels, because Ralph Bakshi, the guy who did Fritz the Cat, and the 60s Spider-Man, he directed a Lord of the Rings, which was kind of a sequel to this. It wasn't really, but it's an animated film that came after this one. It's about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And after they did that, Rankin Bass, the guys who did this movie, they made their own Return of the King movie.
Yeah.
So you have a trilogy of sorts of these animated Lord of the Rings Hobbit movies that came out way before Peter Jackson ever did them.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. I think I mentioned this earlier, and I think I would have definitely liked it more when I was younger and when I had just finished reading the books.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of the animation style, although the music was fun to listen to, and it was fun to like hear all those old songs that you read about in the movie. But other than that, it was okay.
And it's not like a big piece of film history that everyone remembers. It's a little made-for-TV Hobbit animated movie that came out. People watched it. Obviously, it had some sort of following because it's survived till today.
Yeah, it definitely has. Whether it's been followed because it's good, or because people like it, or because people think it's kind of terrible.
Or maybe it's just because it's the only Hobbit movie we had until now.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that may be the thing.
My personal favorite adaptation, by the way, of The Hobbit in any form is a certain song done by a certain famous actor, Leonard Nimoy.
I certainly agree.
In the middle of the earth, in the land of Shire, lives a brave little hobbit whom we all admire. With his long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolly toes, he lives in a hobbit hole and everybody knows him. Bilbo, Bilbo.